could learn the fate of a controversial health policy that allows the deportation of migrants from the U.S. It's called Title 42. Border Patrol and border towns are already preparing for this surge of migrants. We have seen the increase play out in a number of illegal crossings now at record highs. Also, we're seeing it in the skies as we have tracked a growing number of charter flights that are moving migrants around the country to deportation centers and shelters. We're talking adults and kids, even some who are unaccompanied. Correspondent Robert Sherman joining us live tonight from the border. Robert, there is already a really big force of action right now as these border towns, the people there who are trying to address this situation, anticipate what will happen when this ruling goes into effect next week and the surge that may also follow.
That's why so many people are anxiously waiting to see what ends up happening, Marnie. The fate of Title 42 rests in the hands of a federal judge in Louisiana. And while most border officials who we've met with are hoping that that judge will at the very least extend Title 42, at least temporarily, many here are preparing for Title 42 to be gone.
On the water and spread out along the Rio Grande riverbank, dozens of Texas state troopers, National Guardsmen, and Border Patrol agents stand ready as a show of force.
We're just trying to do these exercises as a deterrence factor. That way people don't cross into the United States.
Sergeant Eric Estrada with Texas DPS says they're working with Mexican law enforcement to gear up for a potentially massive surge of migrants Monday, should Title 42 be lifted. Just this past month, a record 234,088 migrants were encountered at the southern border, averaging out to nearly 8,000 a day. The Department of Homeland Security estimates those numbers could potentially more than double if the health measure expires. The Biden administration emphasizes that even without Title 42, the rule of law will still be enforced. Tuesday, a plane full of migrants who crossed into the U.S. illegally took off out of South Texas to return them to Guatemala. Even so, some fear they'll be overwhelmed. McAllen Mayor Javier Villalobos acknowledges that Title 42 is not a permanent solution and that an overhaul on immigration policy is needed. But he doesn't see that happening due to the political back and forth.
I used to say, look, we want the president, the vice president to come down and see the issues. But now we're at a point where I don't even think I want the president or the vice president or anybody coming over and taking photo ops. I want them to go to Washington, sit down, and take care of business.
So that federal judge has alluded to keeping Title 42 in place, at least in a temporary manner, but says that he'll hand down a final ruling sometime before that Monday deadline. Marnie?
Clock is ticking. All right, Robert. Well, Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.